of the most overused questions in the automotive industry is, will that car actually make it up to Baguio? It's really getting kind of old. It's gus. And yet here I am in the middle of the city of Pines about to tell you that yes, most definitely the 2023 BRV does make it up to Baguio very easily. Now, this is not going to be your typical behind the wheel, simply because we actually have a pretty extensive walk around of the BRV, all the models in fact. I'm talking about all three of the CVT models, sans the manual, and it's pretty extensive. So if you would like to see that video, I'm sure that the links are in the description down below. On this particular episode of Behind the Wheel, well, what I wanted to focus on were the questions that we could not answer during the walk-around. Mainly, how exactly does it drive in the city and on the highway? How comfortable is it inside? The fit and finish of the automobile? And most importantly, just exactly what kind of fuel efficiency figures can we expect from the all-new BRV? So this is what happened earlier today. Are you looking to compare prices for your brand new car? Well then, visit AutoDeal.com.ph, select the car that you want, and choose to request for a quote from our network of over 500 official dealer partners nationwide. Within minutes, you'll start receiving offers from the dealers you've selected. All that's left is for you to select the deal that's best for you. Get the best deal on AutoDeal. The first thing that I noticed getting inside the automobile are the seats. Not that they're too skinny or too wide, no, but it's just that, like with other Honda automobiles, there is a perpetual lumbar support, and it's not mild in any case. It's actually very pronounced, very apparent. It takes some getting used to on how to actually sit properly inside the automobile so that you don't feel fatigued after a while. Now, this I will say, I was having some difficulty in trying to figure out the proper seating position, and what happened was that I found that if I were to actually sit very upright, proper, like as if the Queen is coming along or whatnot, it actually is quite manageable in that sense. So the question is, how is it on longer drives such as this? Well, you do tend to sit up quite a bit just to get used to, or rather to use the lumbar support properly. But if you'd like to get a little bit more comfortable, you'll notice that you'll be pushing the backrest a little bit more just to be able to get something that you're more accustomed to. Other than that, it's actually nice to be sitting straight and proper when you're driving. Makes me look taller too. The next thing I want to talk about is NVH. Now, at 100 kilometers per hour or just below that, let's talk about it from 90 to 100, the wind noise is not superlative, but it is very much bearable. Acceptable is what I'm getting at. Now, once you get past that, the road noise and the wind noise starts to get a little bit louder. The good thing is that the insulation of the car is actually very good, that it doesn't echo inside the cabin, but it can definitely be heard. Also, what you can hear is the CVT. Now, when you floor the automobile, whether you're on a flat straight or going up the mountain of Baguio, you will hear the engine sort of like spool up, and then you will feel the rubber band of the CVT. That is not such a great thing. But I will say that unlike other CVTs, when you hear the engine of this automobile, it's actually moving. There is forward movement. The power is there. Unlike, well, other CVTs, there's a lot of noise and you're just waiting for something to happen. Now, one of the bigger questions that people will have for the new BRV is fuel efficiency, a question that we obviously couldn't answer during our walk around. But I can tell you that we started our journey actually inside the city. 7 a.m. traffic on a Monday, not so good traffic, which is perfect because you want to find out what the fuel efficiency is. Unlike right now when we're out in the boondies, so to speak, on our way up the mountain of Baguio. So inside the city, traffic, rush hour, we were doing roughly about 10.2 kilometers per liter. Not stellar, but good nonetheless. Now, when we got onto the highway, we figured that we'd be able to get proper highway driving figures. Unfortunately, leading this pack is George Ramirez, and he's a very spirited driver, so to speak. So there were times that we were pushing the car a little bit, then backing off and pushing the car a little bit. And in those instances, we were able to do roughly about 13.5 kilometers per liter, which is still not bad. However, when we did eventually slow down a little bit on flat surfaces, we were doing roughly about 17.2 kilometers per liter. So an estimate of being able to achieve 18 to 19 kilometers per liter is actually quite possible. Of all the roads we could have taken to reach the summit of Baguio, we're taking Asin Road, which is, it's tight, twisty, and to be honest with you, it's actually a lot of fun. But this is my first time driving it. What I'm trying to get at is that, well, we could have taken other roads considering that this is a BRV. It's not a Type R. It is, after all, a compact MPV, a 7-seater compact MPV. So driving up here, giving it the beans and whatnot, it's not obviously going to respond in the manner that you would want it to because, well, it's a people mover. Oh, I must also add that inside the automobile, we're roughly about 600 pounds of people and equipment, okay? So what it would mean if you had 7 people in here, popping in maybe about 900 pounds of people and equipment, it might actually have a harder time going up the mountain, a lot louder too. As you can probably hear now when I step on the accelerator, you should be able to hear the engine. Well, not right now because I'm going downhill, but in just a moment, I'm going to be going uphill, and I'll just explain to you, or rather, I'll share with you what that means. Here, I'm going to step on the accelerator. A lot of noise, but there's movement. Not a lot of movement, but hey, we're moving forward. Now, another topic I wanted to touch on was fit and finish of the automobile. Now, this is not the VX, this is the S, so it is the model just above the manual transmission, which is the lowest variant. And so obviously you would expect a lot of plastics, hard plastics all around the automobile. And yes, that is true, that you do get that. In fact, you even get some piano black plastics here, which are, fingerprint magnets, and again, near the infotainment system. But what I'd like to point out is that although these are hard plastics, they are good material hard plastics. It's very hard to impart this, but the feel of it, the touch of it, the smell of it is completely different from plastics that you just know are not of good quality. I guess the easiest way to describe it, or to show you or to talk about it, would be if you were to get a leather basketball and bounce it on a wooden floor, and it sounds whole, it sounds premium. Then you get a rubber basketball and you bounce it on a cement court. The sound is very, very different. The feel is very different. I know that there's a lot of people out there that have never bounced a basketball, but I guess really that's one way to describe it. And it's really different when you step inside the automobile because you can tell, yes, it is plastic like I mentioned, but it is of good quality. Which brings me nicely to my next point, the price of the automobile. See, the top-end model of the BRV comes in at 1,000,000 and almost 400,000 Philippine pesos. This model, actually, the price will surprise you. The BRV S comes in 1,150,000 Philippine pesos. Now, at that price, against its competitors in the exact same category, that's actually pretty darn good. I do believe that this S variant can actually go toe-to-toe with the others that are top of the line in this exact same category. You're talking about the Nissan Livina, the Mitsubishi Expander, the Ertiga. Okay, maybe not the Ertiga because that's actually going to come up with an updated one. The thing though is, there's only one way to find out. Comparo anyone? Hopefully sometime soon. Fingers crossed. Thanks for watching everyone. Stay safe. See you soon.